episode 7, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, and it's best you stop digging. This one was very good. It had gave us a lot of information that we needed, and it looks like we're about to come to an end to the Kate saga once and for all in the next episode, which would be nice because episode 8 and 9, I believe that's like the season. Like not the season, like the mid-season finale anyway. So that'll be cool. So getting right into it. So the episode picks up, because last, we saw that the kryptonite was basically getting to Ryan, and it was, going like, through her chest, up her neck, and getting to her brain. So it's actually gotten to her brain now. So now she's hallucinating. She's going crazy. She's seeing things, and Luke and Mary, like they're trying to keep her down, and they're just trying to be like, like we got to do something, and it's like, well, hopefully Sophie can get her hands on the map, and then we can get the desert rose, and we can save her. While Mary and Luke are talking, arguing, conversing, Ryan delusionally like gets off the table, and then she and it's crazy how like they didn't see her do this. Like she got off the table, she went into the room where the Batmobile was, she jumps in the Batmobile, and then she drives off, and then Luke and Mary are just like, what the hell? So in her delusion, like while Ryan's driving, she sees her mom sitting in the passenger side car, and her mom's talking to her. She's having, she's having like delusional dreams about things that happened back in the day between, like her and her mom. And then, a moment where she was like doing her mom's hair, and then all of a sudden, like, because her mom had blonde hair, and then all of a sudden, like the blonde hair turned red, and then blood started pouring down, like her mom's eyes. So now, like, like Ryan, like hallucinations are basically like driving her towards pulling off like one specific task, and that's what that's basically what her whole motivation is at this point. So she ends up going down to I forgot the girl name, but her girlfriend's house, Jocelyn, Josephine, or whatever. She ends up going down to her girlfriend's house because she's looking for Ocean, because we saw in the last episode, Ocean could be one of the people that has the map, has access to the map, or knows information about the map on how to get to Corianne. So she's going down, she's looking for Ocean. So she runs up on her girlfriend Angelique, I believe that's her name was. She goes to Angelique's house in the Batwoman suit. But again, because the kryptonite's getting to her brain, she's like weak, she's a little like wobbly, she's not really paying attention. And because of that, she basically like she's talking to Angelique about things in her real life. Like she called her by name, and then Angelique was like, first of all, how you know my name? And then come to find out, because Angelique and Ryan, they were apparently like girlfriend and girlfriend, like they were a couple. The next chick just comes out of just comes around the corner, and then she's like, oh my god, babe, like Batwoman's on your balcony. And then and then Ryan's like, what the and then so now she knows that her girlfriend's cheating on her. And then she was just like, look, she's like, I'm here looking for Ocean, and then the girl even said, like the girl, like the next chick, she even said, she was just like, babe, do you have a bottle opener? And then and then and then Ryan was like, no, because she doesn't drink. And I'm just like, here you go. And then she was like, how do you know my life and what I do? And I'm just like, Angelique's gonna put 2 and 2 together at some point, so they need to come up with a lie real quick as to why Batwoman knew so much information about her. And the answer can't be because I'm Batwoman. So she asks Angelique where Ocean is. Angelique tells her the information, but because she could tell like Ryan isn't all there, like she's a little like wobbly. After she tells her the information about where Ocean is, she pushes her off the balcony, and then Batwoman goes falling off the balcony and crashes into a car. Luke and Mary, like obviously there's trackers on her, so Luke and Mary track her down. They go down to pick, to pick Ryan's body up, and then, as soon as they show up, like the cops are there at that point, because I guess Angelique called the cops. There's a cop helicopter there, with the spotlight pointed on Luke and Mary, telling them like, yo, we'll put the suspect down, otherwise you're gonna get arrested, like put your hands up. So Luke's whole thing is just like, all right, let's put her in the back of the van. They put Ryan in the back of the van. So then just like, all right, cool, now that she's in the back of the van, he's like, yo, you take the van back to Wayne Tower, I'll take the Batmobile. And then Mary's like, why can't I drive the Batmobile? And I'm just like, really? And then Luke was just like, you ain't driving the Batmobile. And she's just like, why can I? He was like, first of all, you've never driven the Batmobile before. She's like, I've never driven your car before. And I'm like, it's not the same thing. Like, the Batmobile is like millions and billions of dollars worth of like equipment. I like, basically Mary just wanted to drive the Batmobile. First of all, it's bad enough she showed up on the crime scene with a pink hoodie. Like she had like a pink furry hoodie on. But then, because the helicopter was trying to land, Luke was just like, look, I ain't arguing with you, woman. So he gave her the keys to the Batmobile, and they took Ryan back to the Batcave. So then, Mary gives Luke like a list of things that they're gonna need, because she's like, we gotta suppress like the kryptonite poison as long as we can until we can get our hands on the desert rose. So she sends Luke to the store to go pick up some items. Ryan wakes up. Her and Mary have a conversation, and she's just like, "Look, I don't know about you, but because Ryan even she had like a daydream, like vision dream about her killing Alice. So now that's her whole motivation. She's just like, look, she's like, I know I'm dying. She's like, we're probably not gonna get our hands on the desert rose. So if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out the way I need to go out, and I'm gonna get some revenge from my mama." So, Mary was just like, "Oh, but you can't go out there and you can't kill." And then Ryan's like, "Why not?" She was like, "What's the point of wearing this symbol, if we can't be out there trying to dish out justice?" And that was the moment I wish Luke was there, because for Ryan to sit there and say that, "Oh, what's the point of me wearing this symbol if I can't get justice?" Everybody knows when you're a bad person, vengeance isn't justice. And I needed Luke there in that moment to give her that speech, to remind her why there's a code and why you don't kill despite whatever the situation is. Mary's obviously not going to give her that speech because it's also personal to Mary, because Alice also killed her mom. So Mary's just like, all right, fine. She stepped out the way. Mary let her go do what she got to do. So now Ryan, like, she's all hyped up, and she's driving down to where Alice's location is, because she realized that if she's looking for Ocean's whole thing is like, he sells weed, he sells drugs, he has a grow house. So she was like, if you got a grow house, that takes a lot of lights. And if it takes a lot of lights, then you're going to need a lot of power. So they find out where Ocean is, and now Ryan's headed down there to go, she's headed down to Ocean's place so she can hopefully, run up on Alice, because they know Ocean and Alice are both together. Alice now, she kidnapped in the, in the last episode, she quote unquote killed Ocean, but she put Ocean's face on some other dude's body. She told Sophia's right hand that she killed Ocean. So the right hand comes down, Alice knocks her out, chains her up, and then she's like, "What is this mockery?" And then she's just like, "Well, tell me everything I need to know about the whole situation between me, Ocean, and Sophia." So they go down the list. They say that Alice basically, like, after she escaped from captivity, she was so upset because Catherine, Mary's mom, convinced, Kate and Jacob that she was dead. So, she blames Catherine. She was just like, Catherine took my family away from me, and now she wants revenge. She ended up stealing one of Catherine's boats, and then she was just like living in it, drinking or whatever. Sophia's crew ran up on the boat too, because they had beef with Catherine, because they were working with Hamilton Dynamics on something, and I guess Catherine either pulled funding from them, she stole the project, or she just was working with them and then she decided she didn't want to work with them no more. Sophia took that as like an act of disrespect, so she went to go, I guess, blow up her boat or run up on her. I guess they thought that Catherine was on the boat and they were just going to like run up on her and torture her or whatever, but then they found Alice. They bring Alice to the island. Alice tells Sophia her story about how she escaped captivity. Sophia kind of started feeling something for Alice, because Sophia wishes, because Sophia is the queen of the island and she can't leave, she's envious of people who have the freedom to do whatever they want. And she feels like, Alice was a person who escaped captivity, and she's jealous of the fact that she escaped captivity. So herself, she wants to be able to escape captivity too. So now she ends up saying like, "Oh, you can be a weapon for me. Like I can teach you, I can do this, I can do that." So she brings Alice on the island. She introduces her to Ocean, and she has Ocean teach her, because she's like, for all the skills that Alice has, she was just like, you're very erratic, you're very angry, and we need to kind of like, give you some discipline. So Ocean was the guy to do that. So between the two of them being sparring partners and workout buddies, getting to know each other, they got to know each other a little bit more. She confided in her, telling her about the whole thing with her being captured, and the whole thing with Catherine and everybody. And then, then Ocean was just like, my goal is to leave this place. And then he was just like, I want to sell medicine all across the world so I can travel the world, because he's like, I don't want to be trapped on the island like, like Sophia is. And then he told her, he was just like, I've stolen the desert rose, and I'm going to use that, to kickstart my career. And he was like, but I want you to come with me. And then that's when he confessed, that he had feelings for her. And apparently, obviously she did too. Two of them end up kissing, have sexual relations. And then Sophia's right hand saw the whole thing, and I guess she spilled the beans. Now, my whole thing is, I don't know if... I feel like Sophia's right hand also liked Alice as well. Or, because I doubt her whole motivation was just her hating over the fact that Sophia liked her, because Sophia's right-hand hench person, she does have feelings for Sophia as well. And apparently Sophia had feelings for Alice, which is why she got upset when Alice ended up, having relations with Ocean. So she brings two of them in, so both of them are like, handcuffed or whatever, and then Sophia's trying to decide what their punishment is. And it's so funny because because Sophia always sounds like an uppity, like upper class, like snooty person. Even when she's yelling at you, she still sounds like that. She's just like, oh, you two will never have your love. I will destroy everything. And I was just like, wow, like even when you're mad. So anyway, so she ends up bringing in, I guess this person called Enigma, who's a hypnotist. I don't think it was Edward Nigma. That would have, but she ends up bringing in a hypnotist, and she's just like, oh, I'm gonna hypnotize both of you so that way the two of you forget about each other, and then I'm gonna hypnotize Alice, because they were still calling her Beth at the time. He's like, I'm gonna hypnotize Beth, and I'm gonna plant ideas in her head to make her go after like her family. She's gonna wreak havoc on the Hamiltons. She's gonna wreak havoc on her family. She's like, she's like, you're gonna have a gang, and you're gonna be the queen of Gotham, and you're gonna destroy this whole thing. She basically hypnotized Beth into becoming Alice. And she, so that's how the Alice character was born. It was basically the hypnosis that Sophia had put her through. And then, she obviously made both her and Ocean forget about each other. And then she sent both of them off, like on their own missions. So then the henchman is just like, so we hypnotized you, and then we used you to kill the man that you love. And then she's like, first of all, I'm not losing sleep over killing somebody that I don't even remember. And she was like, second of all, I found my mama head in a freezer. So if you're trying to like shock me, like you have to try a little bit harder than that. And that was awesome. Now she's just like, look, I'm just trying to get my revenge. So, so she gave her the keys. She was like, I'm gonna let you out. She's like, yo, go pick up the body. Meet me, pick me up on the corner. She's like, I'm about to go change clothes, and then you and I are gonna fly back to Corian together, and I'm gonna go get my sister back because I gotta whoop Kate's ass. So Alice goes down to the grow house where Ocean is. She tells Ocean everything that happened. And then, he was just like, all right, cool. So we got our answers and everything. They got the body. He was like, I'm free. You're free. He's like, so what are you going to do? And she's like, well, I'm going to go kill my sister. She's like, unless you can come up with a reason for me not to. And he was just like, nah, I'm good. And you can see the hurt in Alice's face because see, Alice remembers more than Ocean does. Alice actually remembers that she loves him. Like, Alice knows that she loves him. And she's hoping that he kind of like comes on board with that as well. And then he's just like, nah, I'm good. He's like, I don't feel a damn thing. And you can tell like that's like breaking Alice's heart because she's still losing the person that she loves. And the love that she has for him is slowly coming back. But, at the end of the day, but she's too proud to say something. So, Ocean ends up leaving, and then Alice, she's just like, all right, fine. I guess I'll go get Kate back so I can, I can torture and kill Kate so I can finally have my revenge. At that moment, Ryan shows up in the Batwoman costume, and then she's like, I'm here to kill you, bitch, because you killed my mama. And then she takes the mask off. Now, the crazy thing is, there's really no big deal about her taking the mask off because Alice doesn't know who she is. And she even said, she was like, on March 13th, 2000, whatever, you killed my mom. And then Alice hit her with this. She was like, first of all, I didn't kill your mother. My minions did. I don't even remember your mother. And then she was like, apparently I'm responsible now for 2 Batwomen. And she said, and then she told her, she was like, she hit her with the bison, with the Raul Julia. She was just like, yo, March 13th, the day that the Wonderland gang killed your mom, was the day that shaped you for who you are, and it changed your life, and it was the most important day of your life. She was like, bitch, for me, that shit was Thursday. And then Ryan gets mad. The two of them start fighting, and because Ryan has the kryptonite poisoning, she get her ass beat. But then, she fights back. She puts her in the chokehold, and then while she's choking her out, a vision of her mom comes back to her, and she's like, that ain't the girl that I raised, baby. And then, Ryan felt bad, and then she let Alice go. And then, she was just like, oh, you're not worth it, bitch. She's like, you'll never be worth it. And then Alice told her, because now that Alice knows that she was under mind control and she was under hypnosis, she looked at Ryan and she was like, yo, what happened wasn't my fault. And then Ryan was like, bitch, everything's your fault. Then Alice gets mad, and then, she walks away. Sophie and Commander Kane, they went to go. They're basically still looking for the map because they went to go search for the map. They found, because remember, remember in the last episode, the doctor dude, he ran up on them in Mary's makeshift hospital, and he took the map from Sophie. He took the map from Batwoman because he had the gun that Sophie had. So Sophie and Commander Kane, they tracked the dude down. Commander Kane found out that Sophie knew about Mary's Mary's hospital, and he's like, everyone's keeping the truth from me. And then I was like, because nobody trusts you. So they show up. They find out that they got there too late. Sophia's goons got the drop on them. They killed all the doctors and all the people. And they saw that people were trying to recreate that experiment, but they killed everybody. Sophia's gang killed everybody, and then with a note inside that said you'll never find Kate. So then so now like Commander Kane, like he's mad. He was just like I can't give up on my daughter, and he making Sophie cry or whatever. And then two of them don't know what to do now because they're just like we don't got the map, so we don't know how we gonna get Kate back. And Alice, she ends up meeting the hench girl on the corner. They're in the car. They're going to the airport, and they're on their way to Corian now, so Alice can get Kate back. Now regarding that, I feel like once they bring the body of Ocean back, and then Alice is just like, okay, here's the body of Ocean, where's Kate? I feel like Sophia's gonna know that's not really him. She's gonna be like, oh, you think I wouldn't recognize my own brother? Like I feel like that's what's gonna happen. But anyway, but I did see in the coming attractions for the next episode, there is a moment where Alice does open the door that apparently Kate's supposed to be in. But like I said, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think when Alice opens the door, Sophia's gonna lock her up and be like, bitch, you tried to betray me, like making a fake Ocean face. And then finally, like in the Batcave, Luke and Mary pick up Ryan again. They pick her up from the grow house, and then she was just like, yeah, my bad, guys. She was like, at the last second, like I realized that killing was wrong and we ain't supposed to do that, my bad. And then she was just like, but we're not. And then Luke was just like, first of all, we ain't supposed to be killing. He's like, but we still in the apprehension business. He's like, why don't you bring Alice in? She was like, because I put a tracker on her boot, so now we can track her to the island, and then we can rescue Kate and get the desert rose for me. And that's how the episode ended. So this is cool because, like I said, it's picking up now. Next week should be the end of the Kate Kane saga. Whether Ruby Rose comes back to do that episode or whether they find out Kate's not really on the island, either way, once Ryan gets the desert rose back, the Kate thing should be over. That the Kate thing should be officially there. Either we're all going to be convinced that Kate Kane is dead, or they actually are going to find her. They're just going to show her from behind or whatever, just show her arm. They won't actually show her face if it's not Ruby Rose, and then we can move forward. We could all move forward with our lives. But if Ruby Rose does come back to at least just do that, that would be cool. It'll be a good way to cap that off. So like I said, so now we can move forward 100% with Ryan and the rest of the gang, and we no longer have Kate's disappearance holding everybody back. So thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think is going to happen next week. Let me know what you think is going on with, with the whole situation with Sophia and everybody. Do we get the conclusion to the Kate Kane situation or not? And like I said, we'll just have a conversation, talk about it. But I'm definitely excited about what happens in the next episode. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Owl's Peace Notebook. These are custom shoes, custom sneakers, custom shoes done by the great Tiata David. Please check out the website. I'll put a link in the description for it. You can check out the website at www.aliveshoes.com. Tiata David, she's a supporter of the Red Eyes Entertainment brand. Get support, receive support, giving back. So definitely, if you guys want custom shoes, custom sneakers, check them out because they are pretty dope, and the summer's coming, and we're definitely going to need them all for the summer. You can also check me out on the Otakus and Geeks Podcast that I do with Justin, Sean, Gotham Geek Girl Nadia. We will be covering the Justice League Snyder Cut that's coming out soon. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can check out one of our latest podcasts, and please subscribe to them as well. Subscribe to their YouTube channels and to their websites as well. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Check me out on social media. Check me out on Twitter, on Instagram. Definitely hit the like button, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you know when new videos pop up, because again, we're still doing Black Lightning, we're still doing Superman and Lois, Falcon and Winter Soldier starting soon, and we still doing that Black Lightning. So take care, guys, and until next time, for some Batwoman craziness, I'm out this bitch.